So we'll discuss operating lease tonight. We'll have chapter 12. So operating lease is basically the standard rental agreement that all of us are familiar with. And leases are to be accounted for under the as an operating lease on the part of the lessor if there is essentially no transfer of the risk and rewards of the asset to the lessee. So normally if the lease is short term, if the asset will revert back to the lessor, then we will be applying or we'll be treating the lease as an operating lease. An operating lease class is one of the easier topics, not just for lease, but in your entire intermediate accounting. Basically, you just add everything, spread it out evenly, and that's it. And the common question here would be, how much would be your rent income or, rent income? And since we will mostly be using straight line method, then year in, year out, your rental income would be the same. And in an attempt to make the problems difficult, class, the problems will sometimes ask you for your net rent income. Because again, the question of rent income is very simple to solve. In an attempt to make the problems difficult, you will be asked to solve for your net rental income. And all you have to do is to deduct your expenses. And the challenge there would be on you correctly identifying the expenses to be deducted from your rental income. And then another potential question would be your receivable. How much is your rent receivable? Or how much is your unearned rent? So depending on whether the amount of income exceeds the collection, you will have a rent receivable or unearned rental income. If collections are greater than your earned rental income, then you will have a liability, you will have unearned rent. If collections are lesser than your earned rent, then you will have a rental receivable. So again, this would be one of the easier topics. So let's just try to solve the multiple choice problems here to practice this. 12-8. The company owns an office building and normally charges tenants 3,000 per square meter per year for office space. Because the occupancy rate is low, the company agreed to lease 1,000 square meters at 1,200 per square meter for the first year of a 3-year operating lease. Okay, rent for remaining years will be at 3,000. Okay, so if you'll be asked how much will you receive for the first year, you will receive 1,200,000. Where did you get 1,200,000? 1,200 per square meter times 1,000 square meters. How much will you receive on year 2? You will receive 3 million. That's 3,000 times 1,000 square meters. How much will you receive on year 3? You will also receive 3 million. But again, under accrual accounting, which is observed for operating leases, applying matching principle, our rental income will not depend on our collection. So even if we collect 1,200,000 on year 1, your rental income will not simply be 1,200,000. Even if you collect 3 million on year 2 and year 3, your rental income for year 2 and year 3 would not be 3 million. Again, we will be spreading out all our rental revenue throughout the lease term. And unless there is a better systematic allocation class, we'll be using straight line. So what then are you supposed to do? Determine the total amount that you would get out of the rental agreement. So how much then are you going to receive all in all? 1,200,000 in year 1, 3 million in year 2, 3 million on year 3. So for the entire 3-year lease, you will receive a total of 7,200,000. Then, using straight lines, spread it out through 3 years, divide 7,200,000 by 3 years. 7,200,000 divided by 3, how much is that? 1,400,000. 2,400,000. So that would be your annual rental income. Okay, for every year, your rental income would be 2,400,000. But why is the answer here not 2,400,000? Because the reporting period ends on September 30. So again, the 2,400,000 is your rental income good for one whole year. But for your reporting period, you only earn how many months? From January to September, that would be, how many months would that be? 9 months. Okay, so you split or spread over your 2,400,000 over 12 months, 2,400,000 divided by 12. That means your monthly rental revenue would be monthly 2,400,000 divided by 12. That will give you 200 multiplied by the number of months you're able to earn rental revenue. That would be 1,800,000. Then that would already be the answer. Okay. But again, if you'll be asked how much would be the rental revenue for 12 months, your answer would be 2,400,000. But why again is it not 2,400,000 here? Because the lease was earning only for 9 months because the the reporting period ended on September 30. Okay. So the trick in this problem class has nothing to do with operating lease class. It's on your ability to spot the end of the reporting period. Because if it ends less than 12 months, then you should not be reporting revenue good for uh, 12 months. So the safest procedure class would be to compute the monthly rent class instead of annual. Okay, but if there's nothing tricky in the problem, you can simply compute for annual rental income because again, that would just be equal year in and year out. But the safest would be to compute for the monthly rental income and multiply it with the number of months covered by the reporting period. 12-9, what amount should be reported as rental income? So the same question. At the start of the year, the company leased an office for a 5-year term. Under the terms of the operating lease, rent for the first year is 800,000 and rent for years 2 through 5 is 1,250,000. And then there's an inducement to enter the lease. The lessor granted the lessee the first 6 months of the lease rent-free. So again, just compute the total amount you expect to receive from the contract. How much are you going to receive for year 2, 3, 4, and 5? 1,250,000 per year. And how many years is that? That would be 4 years. So 1,250,000 times 4 will give you 5 million. And then supposedly for year 1, it's 800 class, but do you actually receive 800,000 for year 1? No, because you give the first 6 months as free. So basically, for the first year, you will only be receiving 400,000. So all in all, for the whole 5 years, you will be receiving 5 million for 400,000. And that amount will be spread out equally to the entire term of the lease, even during the periods in which you receive no rent. Okay? So even in the first 6 months, even if you do not receive any rental payment, you will still be reporting rental revenue or rental income. So what should you do? Divide 5,400,000 by 5 years. And that would be 1,080,000. And is there any trick here? Are we operating on a partial year? Okay, so our answer would simply be 1,080,000. Proceed to problem 12-10. Question here is, what amount should the company report as rent receivable? So here the question now is rent receivable. To solve for rent receivable, you have to compute for income first, then compare it with your actual collections. Okay. This is on January 1, 2022, and the lease is good for 4 years. The monthly rental is different for year 1, 2, 3, and 4. uh, there are a lot of ways to go about this one. You can decide to add 100, 150, 200, and 250 and multiply them by 12. Or you can annualize each of these four amounts. Let's do the latter. 100,000 times 12 will give you 1,200,000. That would be your annual collection for, sorry, not annual. That would be your total collection for 2022. For 2023, 150 times 12, is that 1,800? 1,800,000. And then that's 200 times 12, that would be 2,400,000. Then 250 times 12, that would be 3 million. Add everything. 3, 5, 4. Is that 8,400,000? So all in all, throughout the entire contract, you expect to receive a total of 8,400,000. Are we waiving some of the rentals class? Just like in the previous problem, rentals are payable at the end of each month. All rental payments within the year were made when due. So we can now compute for our expected annual rental income. 8,400,000 spread out equally through 4 years. 8,400,000 divided by 4 will give you 2,100,000. Okay, so how much is your rent income in 2022? 2,100,000. Year 2, 2,100,000. Year 3 and 4, 2,100,000 each. Okay, but the question is not just on the rental income. The question is on your receivable. Okay, how much did we collect in 2022? Okay, we only collect the 100,000 monthly rental. So for 2022, we receive a total of 1,200,000. And how much income have we received? Have we earned 2,100,000? So what's the difference for 2,000,001 between 2,100,000 and 1,200,000? That would be 900,000. So your rental receivable at the end of 2022 would be 900,000. But why is that not the answer here? Because the question asks for the rent receivable on 2023. Okay, so be careful. So what question will result in an answer of 900,000 if you were asked for rent receivable as of December 31, 2022? But since the question is 2023, we have to continue further. Next, how much have we earned in 2023? Another 2,100,000. Okay, but how much were we able to collect? How much are we able to collect in 2023? 150 times 12, that would be 1,800,000. So from 2023 alone, we will have an additional 2,1 and 1,8, that will be 300. So additional receivable in 2023 would be 300. Okay, the 900,000 from last year, additional 300,000 this year, you will have 1,200,000 by the end of 2023. Okay. By the end of 2025 class, the receivable should be 0. 12-11, what amount should the company report as rent receivable? Basically the same procedure in the previous problem. The lease is for 5 years. You are given the schedule of payments. So first thing we need is our rental income each year. And how do we do that? Compute for the total amount that you would get out of the contract. Year 1, year 2, 1 million, so 2 million, 3,400,000, 4 million, 5,100,000, and then is it 7 million class? So from the contract, you would get a total of 7 million. Spread out over 5 years, annual rental income would be 1,400,000. And how much will you receive in 2022? Only 1 million. But how much have you already earned? You have already earned 1,400,000. So by the end of the first year, you will have a receivable of 400,000. But why is that not the answer? Because the problem is asking for the end of 2023. Okay. So by the start of 2023, we have rent receivable of 400. Then what happened? We have a rental income of, how much was our annual rental income? 1,400,000. So 4 million plus 1,400,000, that would be 1,800,000 minus the collection in 2023. How much was the collection in 2023? Another 1 million. So 1,800,000 minus 1 million. The receivable at the end of 2023 would be 800,000. And that would already be your answer. Next, what amount should be recognized as total rental income? What amount should be reported as rent income? Total rental income over the lease term, class, how much? The lease is accounted for an operating lease, and then how much will you be collecting every year? According to the terms of the lease, rentals of 300 per month are scheduled to begin. And as an incentive, the period from June to October 31 is rent-free. The lease term spans 5 years. How much will you be receiving all in all? According to the terms of the lease, supposedly every year you will have 3,600,000, and then multiplied by 5, that would be, how much is 3,600,000 times 5? Is it eight, how much? 18 million? 18 million. But you will not actually get 18 million because you have given June to October for free. How many months is June to October? June, July, August, September, October. That's 5. 5 times 300 will give you 1,500,000. So deduct that from the 18 million, the total amount that you would get will just be 16,500,000. And that would be the answer. What amount should be reported as rental income for 2022? So what do? You compute for the annual, but in this case, class, it would be better if you compute the monthly. Okay, for how many months is the lease good for? It's good for 60 months. So 16,500,000 divided by 60, how much is that? 16,500,000 divided by 60, 275. So even if you will not receive any rent in the 5 years, in the first 5 months, kasi, there will still be rental income on those months. Okay, so every month you should report rental income of 275,000. Now for 2022, how many months have we earned? How many months worth of rent have we earned? So that's from June to December. Okay, and that's 7 months, class. Okay, so 7 times 275. How much would that give? 1,925,000. Okay, that would be our answer. Okay, next. What amount should be reported as net rent income for the current year? We are now in problem 12-13. Information, lease a building under an operating lease for 10 years at 500,000 per year, payable the first day of each lease. The company paid 150,000 to a real estate broker as initial direct cost. Treatment for initial direct cost, class, on the part of the lessor. Will it be expensed outright? No, it will be capitalized as part of the leased as cost of the leased asset, but it will be amortized over the lease term. Okay, it will not be amortized over the useful life. It will just be amortized over the lease term. So as you amortize the initial direct cost, what will that represent? That will represent a reduction to your rental income. Okay, so the proportionate amount that will be recognized as expense out of your initial direct cost would be a reduction to your rental income. The building is depreciated 120,000 per year. The company incurred insurance and property tax expense totaling 90,000 for the current year. Okay, so property tax and insurance klasa expense outright. Okay, but be careful if the insurance is good for more than 1 year. But here the problem is clear that the insurance is for the current year. So it will have to be expense outright. Okay, there's nothing tricky with our rental income class. Our rental income would be 500,000 per year. So the issue now here is concerning our deductions. What will be our deductions? Deduct the 120 depreciation to get our net income. What else? Deduct your property insurance amounting and property tax and insurance amounting to 90,000. But what else? You deduct the amortized portion of the initial direct cost. So every year, how much would be expensed from our initial direct cost? You divide 150,000 by 10. So every year, 15,000 will be deducted from our rental income. So 500,000 rental income minus 120 minus 90 minus 15 will give you 275,000. Okay, just use this time class to practice class. Okay, hopefully you don't have to go over this topic anymore. 12-14, what amount should be reported as rent revenue for the current year? Okay, so get our collections, get the amount that we will get from the contract. The lease is for 5 years. Annual rental is 900. Additionally, Lake Company paid 500,000 to RAP Company as lease bonus and 250,000 as a security deposit. Okay, so the lease bonus class, okay, similar to your initial direct cost, this will reduce your rental income. This is an amount paid by the lessor, but the amount paid will not be reported as an expense outright. It will be spread out throughout the lease term. Okay, so again, the lease bonus paid by the lessor will also be amortized over the lease term. As an alternative way of treating this, you can just deduct this from the total collections from the contract for you to get your annual rental revenue. So how much are we getting from the contract all in all class? 900,000 every year, good for 5 years. That would be how much? 4,500,000. 4,500,000. But since we had to pay 500,000, the total amount that we would really be getting from the contract would only be 4 million. And it is the 4 million that would be spread out over the lease term. Okay? So as an alternative way of looking at this class, you can just deduct the 500,000 lease bonus to the total amount you get from the contract. Okay? So 4,500,000 minus 500, you will get 4 million divided by 5 years. Your annual rental revenue would be how much class? 800,000. Why is that not in the choices? Leased a new machine. No, sorry. Lake Company is not the lessor. Lake Company is the lessee. So actually, this is an additional income on the part of the lessor. Okay, but you will not recognize the entire 500,000 outright as an income. It will be spread out throughout the lease term. So it's possible kasi that the bonus would be paid by the lessor, but in this case, the bonus is paid by the lessee. So this would be treated as an additional source of revenue. Okay, so an alternative way of treating this would be to add the 500 to the 4,500,000 to get the total collection from the contract. Okay, so how much is 4,500,000 plus 500? That would be 5 million. Because I hope you see the distinction class on the treatment if the bonus is paid by the lessor or the lessee. If it's paid by the lessor, deduct it from the total rental from the contract. If it's paid by the lessee, treat it as an additional rent. So that would be added back to the periodic rent. So total rental now would be 5 million spread out over 5 years. That would be 1 million. Why are we ignoring the 250,000 security deposit class? Because it is refundable. So even if you get that amount, you will never recognize that as an income because you will ultimately return the 250,000. It's different if the deposit is non-refundable, then it will be treated the same way as your lease bonus paid by the lessee, which would be amortized also throughout the lease term. But here, the 250,000 will be reported as a liability until it is refunded or returned to the lessee. Okay, if it's refundable, it will not form part of your rent revenue. Okay, 12-15, what amount should be reported as net rental income for the current year? So get our collections first. The cost of the asset is 4,800,000, which was immediately leased out. The machine had an estimated 12-year life and will be depreciated 400,000 per year. The lease was for a 3-year period at an annual rent of 850. Additionally, who is East? The lessor or the lessee? Who is East here? The lessee. So what should we do with the 300,000? Add or deduct from the total rent? Lessee, paid by the lessee, additional cash received by the lessor. This would be added class. Okay. The lessor incurred insurance expense of 80 for the leased machine during the current year. Okay. So start with your annual rent. Annual rent is very simple. It is just sorry, we will have to add the 300 first. 850 times 850 times how many years is the lease? 3. So this would be 2,550,000. Is that 2,550,000? Then you add the 300. That will give you 2,850,000 divided by 3. That would be 950. 950. Alternative solution, instead of getting the total, since it's just equal every year, you just spread out the 300,000. 300,000 divided by 3, you would get 100 additional rental income every year. So 100 plus 850, your rental income would be 950 every year. And then 950 minus 80 would give you 770. 950 minus 80. 870. What else are we going to deduct? Do not forget to deduct your depreciation. 870 minus 400 will give you 470. That's it. So again, the most common question is rental income. Second common question is your rent receivable. How do you get rent receivable? Compare your actual collections with your accrued or the rent income that you have already earned. Third common question is your net rent income. That is the topic's attempt to make it more difficult by letting you take into account expenses. Next, what amount should be reported as current and non-current liability on December 31, 2022? If it's a lessor, the likely source of liability here would be your advance payments and the refundable deposit. Let's check what's the scenario here. The company leased a building for a 10-year term at an annual rental of 500. At inception, the company received 2 million covering the first 2 years rent. Okay, so meaning there's advance rental class A, there's advance payment, and a security deposit of 1 million. The security deposit will not be returned to the company upon expiration of the lease, but will be applied to payment of rent for the last 2 years of the lease. So basically, the deposit here is just an advance payment. Okay, what amount should be reported as current and non-current liability? First, determine your income. How much is your rental income for the every year? It will just be okay. It will just be 500,000. But how much have you received all in all? All in all, you have received 2 million. Okay, 1 million as payment for the first 2 years, 1 million as payment for the deposit, which will be applied to the last 2 years. Okay, so focus first on the 1 million for the first 2 years class. You receive the 1 million. Out of the 1 million, how much have you earned after the first year? Out of the first 1 million, how much have you earned? You have already earned the first 500,000. How much have you not earned? You have not earned the second 500,000, because what does the second 500,000 in the first 1 million represent? It represents the rent for the second year. But that is still unearned. But you have already received it. Since you have received payment for something you have not yet earned, that will be reported as an unearned income, which is a current liability. So how much would be your current liability? That would be 500,000. Okay. Now, what do we do with the second 1 million? That would still be reported as a liability because that amount is unearned. Why have you not yet earned that one? Because that will be earned when? That will only be earned on the last 2 years of the lease. But why is that not a current liability? Because current liability are those liabilities that are expected to be paid, settled within 12 months or the normal operating cycle, whichever is longer from the date, from the reporting date. Okay, so only the second 500,000 of the first 1 million is current. All unearned collection beyond the second year will already be a non-current liability. So that's why the answer there is Bravo. Next, if a 1-year lease is signed on a 90,000 per month apartment, what amount should be reported as refundable security deposit? The company owns and manages apartments. On signing a lease, each tenant must pay the first month and last month rent and a 50,000 refundable deposit. The security deposit is rarely refundable in total because cleaning costs of 15,000 per apartment are almost always deducted. About 30% of the time, the tenants are also charged for damages to the apartment, which typically cost 10,000. If a 1-year lease is signed on a 90,000 per month apartment, what amount should be reported as refundable deposit? Okay, so first and last month, and a 50,000 refundable security deposit. Okay, so the 50,000 so whether the rental is 90,000 or not, the deposit will still be 50,000. And then what will happen is that there will be cleaning cost of 15, and then damages of 10,000. At this point, class, the 15 and the 10 are still future costs. They will not be reported as expense yet. They should not be set off against the 50,000. The answer here will just be the 50,000. Next, 12-18, what amount of net rental income should be reported the by the company for the year end December 31, 2023? Okay, so be careful. The question is in 2023 and it started in 2022. And then another thing to be careful of is that the lease started on July 1. Okay, the lease equipment for a 1-year period expiring June 30 for 60,000 a month. On July 1, 2023, the company leased the same equipment to another entity for a 3-year period expiring June 30, 2026. Okay, so different rates. The original cost of the equipment was 4,800,000. The equipment is being depreciated on a straight line basis over an 8-year period with no residual value. Let's focus on the third paragraph first. How much then would be the annual depreciation? How much would be the annual depreciation? Original cost is 4,800,000 to be depreciated over 8 years. So that would be 600,000. Okay? That would be important because we are looking for our net rental income. First, we have to determine our rental income for 2023. Okay? But since it underwent 2 contracts during 2023, we have to focus first on the first contract. How much would be the monthly rental income then in the first contract class? It says here that it is for 60,000 a month. There's nothing tricky there. Every month there would be 60,000. But for the first contract, how many months was it good for in 2023? The first contract was only effective in 2023 for 6 months. So on the first contract, how much have we earned from the first contract in 2023? That would be 60,000 times 6, which would be 360,000. And then, starting on July 1, it will be earning rent again, but at a different amount. Okay, so every month it would be 75,000. Okay, and how many months have we earned from this contract in 2023? 6 months. So 75 times 6, is that 450? So 450 plus 360, that would be 810. 360, 450, 810. And then, how much was the depreciation we computed earlier? 600. So 810 minus the depreciation of 600, our net rental income would be 210. Because you might ask, why are we not just adding the collection for the lease with Elder Company and the lease with Toil Company? Again, they pertain to different contracts. Okay, the rental income would be spread out over the lease term. So what was the lease term for the Elder Company? It was July 1 to 2022 to June 30, 2023. So only on that period wherein we will have a uniform rental from this contract. And the second contract, different. Okay, so it does not mean we will be adding everything. We do that for all contracts. Again, it is for each separable contract. 12-19. What amount should be reported as pre-tax income by the company for 2022? The company leased an equipment to the lessee which expires on May 1, 2023. So that means this is good for 1 year. The company could have bought the equipment from HUG for 3,200,000 instead of leasing it. HUG company's accounting record showed a carrying amount for the equipment on May 1, 2022 of 2,800,000. The depreciation of the equipment in 2022 was 360. During 2022, Rave paid 720,000 in rentals for the 8-month period. Then the lessor incurred maintenance and other related costs under terms of the lease of 60,000 in 2022. After the lease expires, the lessee will lease the equipment to another entity for 2 years. What amount should be reported as pre-tax income by the lessor? Okay, start with our revenue class. How much revenue are we going to be reporting for 2022 from this lease arrangement? Uh, it says here that it paid 720,000. Okay, and then maintenance cost class, spread out or expense outright. Maintenance class would be expensed outright. Okay, so deduct the 60,000. What else will be deducted? Will we deduct the entire 360? Yes, because on the part of the lessor, it was subject to depreciation for the entire year. Okay, so 720 minus 360 minus 60 will give you 300,000. Next, what amount should be reported as net rental income for 2022? Start with our income class. How much is our income? The lease was for a 3-year period expiring January 1, 2025 with an annual rental of 600,000. Okay. Additionally, West, who is West? The lessor or the lessee? West is the lessee. So, how do we treat the 450,000? Reduction to our rental income or additional source of income? Additional source. But will this be recognized outright in full? No, this would be spread out over the lease term. Okay. And then, so instead of getting the total everything class, you just divide the 450 over 3 years. Okay. 450 divided by 3, that would be 150. And that would be the additional rental income every year. Okay. So total rental income would be 750. We are not waiving any lease class, correct? Okay, so annual rental income would be 750. So all we have to do would be to deduct our expenses. What are our expenses? We have insurance in the amount of 50. Okay, so 750 minus 50 will give you 700, but that is not the answer because we are forgetting something. What else should be deducted, class, to get your net rental income? Deduct your depreciation expense. How much then is your depreciation expense? How much was the cost of the asset? 3,600,000 divided by over 3 years, class? No, divided by over the useful life of 12. So 3,600,000 divided by 12, this would be 300,000 depreciation expense. So deduct that also from the 750. 750 minus 50 minus 300 will give you 400,000. If only your exam can solely be from operating lease. Next, what amount should be reported as net rental income? The same question, the same procedure. What will be our rental income for? What's the issue here? The lease only began on April 1. And then the monthly rental is 200. And it's good for 3 years. Are we waiving any of the rent? On April 1, the lessee additionally paid 1,200,000. On April 1, the entity paid 600 to a broker as finder fee. Class treatment of the 600,000 class. Initial direct cost, which would be deducted, but will it be deducted in full outright? No, this would be spread out and amortized over the lease term. Okay, so what else? Property tax and insurance. My suggestion would be to compute the total class, then deduct the initial direct cost. Okay. Monthly rental is 200, and this is good for 3 years. So 200 times 3,600,000. Sorry, 2,000,000. Sorry, 200 times 36 will give you 7,200,000. And aside from the 7,200,000 rent, what else are we getting? We are getting the lease bonus of 1,200,000. So 7,200,000 plus 1,200,000, that will give you 8,400,000. But deduct the initial direct cost of 600. 8,400,000 minus 600 will give you 7,800,000. And that would be your total rent from the contract. Okay, but instead of dividing it by 3 years class, I suggest divide it by 36 months. Okay? Was it 7,800 class? Is our total rent 7,800? Net of everything? Yes. So 7,800 divided by 36. I can't compute it. How much? 216? Sige. Then multiply it immediately by 9 months. I hope everyone gets where we get the 9 months. It's from April 1 to December. And that will be a good number already. Dili gyapon? April. What's wrong? They lease the equipment to a lessee for 3 years. The lessee paid the rental for 1 year. The lessee paid the rental for 1 year of 2,400,000 and 200,000 security to be. Are you sure it's not a good number, class? The lessee additionally paid 1,200,000 as a lease bonus. How much is 3 years? 36, 72, 84. Was it 7,800,000? How much is 7,800,000 again divided by 36? Then if you multiply that by 9, nagyapon siya decimal. What are we doing wrong here? The lessee additionally paid 1,200,000. April 1, then they paid to a broker as a finder fee. Uh, no, it will be 1,950,000 after you multiply it by 9. What comes out in your calculators, class? So that's what will happen if you use. How about in your calculator? How much will it give you? 7,800 divided by 36, then times 9. 1,950,000. There's an issue there if you use a regular calculator. You try now. You multiply it by 9 first, then divide it by 36 afterwards. 7,800,000 times 9. Has it ever been an issue in your exams before? So that would be 1,950,000. Okay, that would be your rental income for the first year, but you have to deduct your expenses. What are your expenses? The 200 property tax and the insurance of 50. How much was it? Was it 1950? 1950 minus 200 minus 50, that would be 1,700,000. Do we do anything with the security deposit? No, because it is refundable. So what else are we lacking? We are lacking the depreciation expense. How much is your depreciation expense? 900,000. How did we get 900,000? That's 9 million divided by 10 years. So 1,950,000 minus depreciation of 900 minus property tax of 200 and insurance of 50. How much will that give you? 800,000. And that would be your answer.